Hosting a wine tasting party at home is a fantastic way to learn a lot about some wines that you don't know that much about, get together with friends that you love, have some foods that go with those wines, and have a fantastic time. Now it's time to set up the right blind tasting. And I'm not saying that you're gonna wear a mask or something so you can't see. A double blind tasting is really the only way to taste, because it's gonna take all of the ego, any of the past advertising or knowledge of a wine totally away. And it's just gonna be you with your palate and your wine. Because in the end, the reason that I have people over for a wine tasting at my house is so they could pick the wines that they like. Period, right? The rule for wine tasting is like what you drink what you like. Most people are just looking at what's the label and what's the price, so you get rid of the price tag. Because in our mind's eye, we think that a $75 bottle of wine has to taste better than a $25 bottle of wine. But we know there's a little bit of smoke and mirrors when it comes to marketing anyway, especially with those European guys. All right, so what we do is we wrap the bottles. You can take a piece of foil. You can put them in a brown paper bag, except you kind of feel like your brown bag in it. That's not quite right. And we're going to take these, and we're just going to cover them up a little bit. All right? Now, for the wine glass component, I don't get all freaky about needing a different glass for every wine at all, right? One glass is fine. Now, the size of glass that you want is very different for tasting than it is for an evening. I want a small glass. I want a little glass. I'm just gonna put a little bit of wine in there, and I want to be able to get my beak inside and give it a good stir. So we're just gonna pour about this much, right? You want to have a white tabletop like we have here, so if you want to really look at the color, you can look right through the white and really see what the color of the wine is. So what we do when we're tasting is just give it a That process, other than looking stupid, is gonna aerate the wine and really open it up in your mouth and let you smell it at the same time as tasting it. So as you go through the night, you can taste through a few different wines. When you get done with one, you just empty it into the spit bucket. And after a while, people get used to it. Now, setting up fruit and cheese for a wine party is kind of up to you. What I tend to do is to have one hard cheese, like a Reggiano. I have a soft ripened cheese like this Camembert over here. This is a Cambozola. Now you see how weepy these are? That's right, that means perfect. Right? You want them out room temperature. You want to pull these cheeses out a couple of hours before. Look at this Gorgonzola. You could barely pick it up. Or green vein cheese. When people ask you what cheeses should I taste first, you want to start with the mildest cheeses first, then work your way up to the Gorgonzola if that's the strongest cheese. What I tend to do when I'm matching my cheeses is strong wines with strong cheeses, light and fruity wines with light and fruity cheeses. You can go the other way. Sometimes I like champagne and blue cheese because the crisp acidity of sparkling wine up against the richness and the complexity of a great blue cheese like this one are actually doing the other thing. They're kind of banging into each other and making an explosion in your mouth. And that's really what it's all about to me. Food and wine, in the end, need to be enjoyed together. Very few wines are meant to be consumed alone by themselves as a course unto themselves. So tasting them with food is an imperative. I guarantee you, when you do a party like this, at the end of the evening, everybody that came will have at least one wine that they're gonna drink again. And one by one, you're gonna build your cellar, and that's what it's all about.